Well, first week of class, obviously you've had some training,
Yep.
a little bit in the off season. How are you settling in? How are the boys feeling? What's the energy around the pitch and the room?
Yeah, the boys are great. They've definitely settled in. Day 2 of classes today, so we'll see what that brings. But yeah, it's year 2, so we're much more comfortable with how we operate training during the school day, and that's obviously different than preseason. Preseason's a lot more fun. They don't have class. But no, we're comfortable with where we are. We have every able-bodied available player fit and ready to go, so we've no injury concerns going into the first week. And so yeah, the guys are excited. You can't really expect anything less in week 1. So we're up for it, they're up for it, and we'll see what happens on Thursday.
Cool. You just mentioned their fitness.
Yeah.
How did you assess where they were coming in from summer in preparation, on their own preparation for this season?
Yeah, they're all super fit. They're all hungry. You can tell they did their job over the summer, but there's nothing that replicates game fitness like games. And so as much as they are fit right now, Thursday will pose a different challenge. So it's going to take 3-4 games to get into that game fitness. So we'll expect a lot of rotations early on to make sure that guys kind of push through and don't put themselves in a position to get injured. It's going to be hotter than most early games. So yeah, we'll expect some rotations early on, and we'll figure out what the team is going to be like. But from a fitness standpoint, they're fit, they're healthy, they're strong, they're not injured. So can't really complain about that at all.
4-0 win against Wisconsin Superior exhibition. Just touch briefly about that.
Sure.
How the team, what you took away from that?
Well, what we took away from it was that it was a hard game. It wasn't a standard 4-0 win. We scored late, and they tested us. They tested like we'll see in the GLIAC. So it was a great day for us to deal with those issues that we're going to find here in a couple days. We got a lot of new players into the match, so they played college soccer for the first time. It was a long day trip, so we've got to work on our on the road operation. So it was a really successful day, even though it wasn't an easy day, and they really challenged us. So our guys kind of found a way and were able to get some late goals and showed that they have fight and spirit, and we're going to need that. You can't always play great soccer. It's not always going to be a good day for us on the ball. So we have to be willing to do the dirty work and defend and fight and battle for second balls and the stuff that's not the most fun. But that's the reality of GLIAC soccer. So if we can do that, then we should be in every single game.
You touched briefly earlier about regular season coming up this weekend. Talk to me a little bit about the opponents you'll be facing in Northwood and Quincy. Yeah,
they're both good opponents, 2 different leagues. You get Northwood out of the GMAC, former GLIAC member. They're very difficult. They have basically the same team back from last year. They're going to be very strong, powerful, direct, a lot of service into the box. So we're going to have to be up for it physically from day 1. And then Quincy, they're in the GVL VC. We tied them 2-2 last year, so that's going to be another fight. It's a Sunday game. Both teams play on Thursday, so at that point it's who's going to be able to recover the best and be able to perform on Sunday. So we have the advantage that we're at home and they're traveling, but that doesn't really change much. Once the whistle goes, everybody, it's a fair game. And so our guys got to be up for 2 really physical, tough battles, and we're not going to have it perfect game 1. There's no way you can ask that we're going to be playing at our #1 top level. We're going to get there, so we have to be willing to fight and do these other things that you don't honestly want to do, and that's how soccer goes. You have to be able to defend and get up for second balls and restarts, as well as being good on the ball. And so we've been training that, and we're going to train that again today. It's a little bit rainy, so we're gonna get out on the pitch and have these guys work and get ready for Thursday.
You mentioned that game 1 won't be perfect. What's the #1 focal point for you as a coach going into game 1?
Scoring goals. Let's score goals. Last year we really struggled to finish our chances, and we kept teams in the game. So for us, it's scoring goals, finishing our chances, dictating the tempo of the game, managing the game, and not getting into issues where we're now conceding poor goals against the run of play and now having to come from behind. So us, it's scoring goals, plain and simple.
And Coach, I know you talked about, as the week approaches and as game 1 approaches, the intensity level changes.
For sure.
You can't really feel it until you're playing games. So is practice at an even higher level than it has been, and will it be higher this week?
I would say so. Based on yesterday, yeah, absolutely. They're up for it, and sometimes you have to control their emotions a little bit. There will absolutely be some nerves. There's no doubt about it. But that's part of the game, and you have to push through that. So our guys are battle tested. They've been through it before, and we'll have to help the new players along. But yeah, there's no warm-up time. It's straight to it. We have to win our non-conference games to give us an opportunity to get a bid. And so what perfect opportunity at home on Thursday.
Talk to me a little bit about the incoming freshman class.
Sure.
What you expect from them, maybe impact right away, holes they may have filled that you like.
Yeah, like we talked about in the preview, I think all of them have filled some massive holes for us. You can go from goalkeeper all the way up to forward. So with Bryce and Flo and goal, that's massive for us. We needed to fill that position from last year. We really didn't have a striker last year, so Fernando has done a great job, as well as Teddy coming in and showing that they can play the 9 and score goals like we just talked about. But all the rest of them, the defenders, the central midfielders, the wingers, they've all been able to show that they can play and make big impacts. So I expect all of them to play and make impacts, and the team has welcomed them in. It hasn't been as if they're the new players. We've been working on our culture since they were announced as the incoming class. So there really hasn't been this long introduction time. They're part of the team, and they're going to make a huge impact. So we'll see who starts on Thursday, but you can bet that 3 or 4 of those newcomers are going to be on the pitch.